In this article, it focused on the relationship between the depositors' trust and their loyalty towards tabung haji. Following the Malaysian general election on 9 May 2018, in which Malaysia made history by becoming the first country in the world to change its administration lead, that increasing a number of incidents involving tabung haji occurred. The board of directors as well as the management team have undergone significant change. Following that, it was announced that a small number of police reports had been filed against Tabung Haji's previous management team for mismanagement, particularly in relation to the company's financial records for the fiscal year 2017. The Tabung Haji mismanagement issue is likely to impact public trust and confidence in the institutions, which, in the words case scenario, might lead to large deposit withdrawals and a bank run. As a result, many initiatives were done right away to rebuild public faith in Tabung Haji. One of them was to place Tabung Haji under the supervision of Malaysian Central Bank. Urus-Harta Jamaah Sdn Bhd was also established as a special purpose vehicle (SPV) to purchase Tabung Haji's impaired investment in order to restore the company's financial statement. Furthermore, the government's deposit guarantee remains the most important factor in maintaining public confidence in Tabung Haji. Other than that, financial literacy is one of the mitigating variables in this study, which looks at the relationship between depositors' trust and loyalty to Tabung Haji. In keeping with Tabung Haji's core goal of facilitating and managing Haji for Malaysian Muslim, the saving account product offered by Tabung Haji is essentially a deposit account for Muslims to conduct their Haji. To achieve this goal, Tabung Haji offers a saving account based on the Wadiah Yadamana idea, in which Tabung Haji act as the custodian for the depositors' saving. Profits created from business and investment operation belong to Tabung Haji under the Wadiah Yadamanah principle. As a result, the distributions of profit to depositor is at the discretion of Tabung Haji. Until 2017, Tabung Haji had been offering depositors a higher return rate known as hibah, which averaged 7.25% between year 2013 until 2017. Even while the contract does not require depositors to pay a large hibah payment, what happened in practice was the depositors placed a higher expectation on the return. Furthermore, the Tabung Haji Act expressly states that hibah can only be paid if Tabung Haji has made a profit and the value of its assets exceeds its liabilities.
Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Naziha Mahira binti Bashir Ahmad and my matrix number is D20211098-165. Now I will explain about the key issues of Lembaga Tabung Haji's case. The National Audit Department audited Tabung Haji's 2017 financial statements, and PricewaterhouseCoopers was engaged to conduct an independent examination of the company's financial situation. Based on news and statements made public by Tabung Haji between November 2018 and March 2019, it was discovered that the financial statements for the fiscal year ended 2017 did not disclose the true status of Tabung Haji. According to the audit report, Tabung Haji did not make impairments on the huge reduction in value of its investments. Hence, its financial statements for the fiscal year ending 2017 were inflated. The 3.41 billion ringgit profit for the year ended 2017 omitted and 4.26 billion ringgit impairment loss on available for sale equity assets and impairment loss of 7 million ringgit on AFS loan security instruments and other adjustment of 4.85 billion ringgit. Furthermore, Tabung Haji's asset impairment policy was found to be inconsistently set with revisions made every year, particularly during the year ended 2017, when the policy was revised twice. Another finding of PwC's investigation was that the asset and liability positions in the 2017 financial statements were erroneously disclosed. According to the findings, at the end of 2017, Tabung Haji has assets of 70.3 billion ringgit and liabilities of 74.4 billion ringgit, leaving a deficit of 4.1 billion ringgit. This is significantly different from the disclosed figures for assets, which were 70.3 billion ringgit versus liabilities of 888 million ringgit. Next, I will present about the evaluation of each causes of action that happened in Lembaga Tabung Haji's case. Based on the facts of the case, we can evaluate that Tabung Haji does not comply with financial reporting standards, as Tabung Haji did not record the impairments in the financial statements for the significant loss in value of its investment. This shows that the management of Tabung Haji does not comply with few rules and regulations in financial reporting standards that set by the Malaysian Financial Reporting Standard Board and provide the financial statements that are not true. In addition, Tabung Haji misrepresent the position of assets and liabilities in the financial statements for the year ended 2017. Tabung Haji engages in the following unethical behavior in this statement. When an unethical behavior of the accountant in the company defies the norms and regulations to illegally modify the facts provided on financial statements, those financial statements become increasingly useless. Financial statements that are tainted hinder the decision-making process, since they must stay accurate and true in order to assist end users in making financial decisions. Erroneous figures put suspicion on all other figures and end users lose faith in the information supply. If this continues, this could have bad impacts on Tabung Haji in the long run.
Good afternoon everyone, I am Aminah binti Basir. So today I'm gonna present about the recommend and provide justifications on the best course of action toward the case of Tabung Haji to maintain the depositor trust and loyalty on Hajj institutions. First and foremost is to avoid interference of politicians in the management of Tabung Haji. One of the strong evidence to keep Tabung Haji's financial institutions out of the political element is when there is a report made by Tabung Haji's new board of directors against its former chairmen and 4 members of Tabung Haji management. This is because the Tabung Haji Foundation Fund, which amount to RM22 million, that was supposed to be used to help the Asnaf people but was misused to provide political benefits to the government at that time. Apart from that, another recommendation in ensuring the integrity and ethics of Tabung Haji management always being practiced is with frequent inspections of forensic audit to avoid creative accounting in order to maintain the loyalty of Tabung Haji depositors to continue the use of service of the Hajj institution. Tabung Haji should not only rely fully on inspection from independent audits and should conduct forensic audit more frequently. This is because, referring to the independent audit selected by Tabung Haji, Ernst & Young in the year in which creative accounting was conducted at Tabung Haji, independent audits state that there were no creative accounting practice involving collusion, misstatement, and misleading during the year, until a forensic audit was conducted by PricewaterhouseCoopers in 2019 on the financial report of Tabung Haji for 2018. The matter raises the questions of whether the independent audit is truly independent or vice versa. Thirdly is tighten the financial control and supervision of Tabung Haji. By placing Tabung Haji under Bank Negara Malaysia, will certainly be able to make careful monitoring and supervision of Tabung Haji's financial statement. Bank Negara Malaysia can act as the authoritative party in controlling and monitoring of financial institutions in our country.
Next is the significance of ethics and integrity to accounting profession. The first one is to maintain the business image and reputation. Every business has a product or service which they have to deliver to their customer to meet their needs, just like Tabung Haji. So, as a business owner, we have to make sure the others think highly of our business because it can impact everything in the business, such as decision, action, and interaction. Moreover, unethical activity in accounting profession that happen in the business can affect organization trustworthiness and reputation to its stakeholders. Hence, it is important to the business to take care of their image and reputation because it literally can affect everyone in the organization. Next point is to decrease the criminal and fraud activity in the organization. Fraud activity is an illegitimate alternation of the corporation financial record in order to exploit the perceived health of a company or even to mask a gain or loss. Therefore, by following ethics and integrity, the criminal and fraud activity in the accounting profession eventually can be reduced. This is because if the company is still doing those, it can destroy the entire organization. trustworthy, and loyalty of the customer. The ethics code ensure that all members of the company demonstrate integrity and honesty in their work with clients and other professional relationships. The ethic codes also prevent accountants from associating themselves with any information that could be misleading or damaging to the client or the organization. The first ethical principle is integrity, where as a professional accountant, they should be straightforward and honest in all professional and business relationships. Secondly is objectivity, where all the members or professional accountants should not allow bias, conflict of interest, or the undue influence of others to compromise their professional or business judgment. While for professional competence and due care, a professional accountant has a continual duty to keep his or her professional knowledge and expertise up to date in order to provide competent professional service to a customer or employer based on current practices, legislation and procedure. When delivering professional service, a professional accountant should perform diligently and in accordance with applicable technical and professional standards. Other than that, confidentiality is also one of the codes of conduct that a professional accountant needs to comply with. It is because professional accountants should maintain the confidentiality of information obtained via professional and business connections and should not divulge such information to third parties without sufficient and explicit authorization unless there is a legal or professional obligation to do so. Last but not least, as a professional accountant, they need to show a professional behavior by complying with relevant laws and regulations and shall avoid that may discredit the profession.